essentially when you got here, because that's what you guys have done? How proud you are of that?
Well, you know, it's a great thing. We want to get all the guys we can from Mississippi. You know, we have a lot of great players in Mississippi. And I think winning big games and consistently winning bowl games in the Egg Bowl will get those guys convinced that this is really the place to be in Mississippi. And like I said, it's great for the state, great for our university, our fan base, and our coaches and the players. So it's really important, and it's something that we really strive to do each year.
Charles, Wade Bonner had a pretty good game. What did you go see from your perspective?
Oh yeah, he had a great game. He's a great player. Usually it's me, him, and Nico. But Nico, he got hurt, and Wade stepped in. He's a great player, and like say about Vic, he doesn't get his recognition that he deserves either. But him coming in this game and playing the way he did, having a great game, being consistent was big for our defense.
We have time for one more question for the players.
Well, Vic, do you think the work that you've done in your career will make it a little bit easier for that next Mississippi State running back to get a little bit more attention?
Not necessarily, man, because you got to prove yourself every week in the Southeastern Conference. I think whoever come in got to start from scratch like I did.
Vic and Charles, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, guys. Real quick,
Was there ever a temptation to bring Tyler in?
No, Tyler, we didn't want to put Tyler in the game unless there was an injury with Chris to have to do that. And Hard when saw Tyler get loose, we wanted to try to stay loose during the whole course of the game. But with that injury, him not being 100%, it wouldn't be fair to try to put him out there unless we needed to. When Chris was okay. It was just. You don't look and just say you can point at one thing to start that game off. Vic never puts the ball on the ground. He fumbles, and Ladarius fumbles, and we're going backwards. And it's you never know what to expect in bowl games because we had real sharp walkthroughs. We were real sharp in practice the other day, and you feel pretty good about it. But you haven't played in so long. Sometimes the emotions and the excitement and being in a stadium with the crowd and finally getting back on the field gets so much of you. And that obviously is what happened to us tonight.
And you were smiling coming off the field at halftime. Was that just a smart aleck smile? Just wondering how you were up by 9?
No, I figured, to turn the ball over that much and we're still up, I'm kind of amazed at that. And then I figured I gave you all something to second guess me about, whether we should have kicked it with 6 seconds to go or try to play. And then I started laughing. I said, well, it actually worked because there was still 1 second left on the clock. So in theory, it was a good decision. Except for the interception part. That was a bad decision. But no, you know what? It was one of those. We turned the ball over a whole bunch in the first half. You know what? But I was smiling because we had done what we needed to do to stay in the ball game and actually have the lead at halftime when we had done enough things to be way behind at that point. So I was actually pretty happy with how it was going.
Coach, without speculating what they'll actually do, just talk about the process for John Banks and Fletcher Cox these next couple of weeks in the draft.
We encourage all our guys. They turn in their paperwork to the NFL, and the NFL, one thing we always remind them is, nothing against all of you guys in the media, but you don't get a pick. So whenever you do a mock draft, that's pretty good. I guess the kid should hold you accountable for the millions of dollars they lose when you project them much higher than the NFL office does. I guess you guys should have to ante up for these poor kids and walk away without a degree. But no, we get the feedback from the NFL office. I've always told those kids, if you're going to be a first-round pick, you need to leave, take the money, and go. That's big money. If you're not, it's really not all that much money. When you break it down, by the time you paid your taxes and done all your other things, it's not life-changing money. It's not. You're still going to have to get a job when football's done, and So we encourage those guys, if they're not going to be a first-rounder, to come back, finish and get their degree, and hopefully improve their draft status next year, which you see a lot of guys do. I don't think I've ever seen a guy hurt by coming back. I've seen a lot of guys hurt by leaving early, but I haven't seen many hurt by coming back. So, but we'll support whatever decision they're going to make. They're part of our family, and we'll sit down over the next couple of weeks and go over all that stuff.
We have time for one more question.
Coach, the 2 bowl victories now, the 3 Egg Bowls in a row, can you contrast what you're about to go take out the Mississippi State brand now versus when you first got here? Because you're about to enter a whole other season of recruiting.
Yeah, I think when we first got here, we sold all these guys. I mean, these guys sitting here and, the Vic Ballards and all of those guys, Fletcher Cox and Chad Bumpus and John Banks and Josh Boyd, all our guys from our first recruiting class, and even our second recruiting class, that we're going to build something. If you guys believe in it, we can build a foundation for a great future here. I think when we go out now, I think, we're going in and kids are expecting us to compete for championships, to get to bowl games every single year, looking for us to take that next step. In the Southeastern Conference, that next step is a huge step. For us to take that next step, to go play for that championship, you look at the SEC West Championship will be decided at the national title game this year, I guess. And so, that's the next step in this program, and that's a big step for us. But I think the players coming in now can see that there is that light at the end of the tunnel. If I'm a young guy from Mississippi, I can look and say, hey, I can go play for my state in front of my people, represent my hometown to go win a championship, not just for Mississippi State, but for the state of Mississippi.
How about the impact of the fans?
Well, I think it certainly helps our name recognition nationally,
right,
a little bit more. When I think when I first got there, we weren't getting any return phone calls. When you start going around the country now, when we call, people know who we are and they can relate to what we've done.